Here we go. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Here it is, Friday, January 13th. If you're not suspicious, great day.
It's a good day.
And today we have Estella, who is joining us, Estella Blake. She's joining us from Legal Shield. And a little bit about Estella before we get started. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Estella has 30 years as a corporate human resource professional. Her passion has been to facilitate peace, order, and fairness in the work environment. Boy, do we need that now. So after leaving corporate work, she decided to use her knowledge and skills to keep small business owners with employees, help them out. She's going to help them. She started her consulting company, BLEST Biz LLC. That stands for Business Legal Employer Solutions and Trainings, to help owners with resources and solutions to grow and protect their company and to minimize their business risks. Their HR infrastructure, and they could more easily manage their employees and have a work environment with where employees felt valued and wanted to work for the company. Wow, that's pretty great. She is a graduate of the Ohio State University with a BS in labor and HR management and an MBA. She is a certified senior professional in human resources, SPHR, and a certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. Estella has taught 11 years as an adjunct facility for a major university, both undergraduate and graduate courses in human resources management, legal aspect of supervision, and employment law. In fact, I had to ask Estella what adjunctive meant, and it says said that she does not work for a staff in a university full time. She may work like 4 times out of a year. In a quest to help people in business for the past 25 years, Estella has partnered with Legal Shield, the largest legal entity in North America, to provide affordable access to legal advice and assistance. With this unique product, she helps individuals and business owners have tangible resources that can make a difference in protecting, empowering, and equipping them with access to their rights, justice, and the legal literacy they need to make better decisions for a better life. Well, I got to tell you, Estelle, I am like, wow, I did not know that of you. And we've participated in a lot of masterminds, and I had no idea. So I'm really, really looking forward to this interview today so I can learn more. And I'm sure Sally and Kathy both are intrigued. And any of those that may be listening to this recording, please sit back, enjoy, relax, and let's get started, Estella. Why did you become a Legal Shield and ID Shield representative? And how long have you been with them?
Well, I have always been a person that has had a desire to help people not be taken advantage of. In my real early days, I was union representative and as well as a union president and grievance chairperson. And so that carried over me into the HR, where I was in the work field, where I was, again, working between employees and managers to help also make sure that there was fairness in the workplace and things got done. And then later on, ID Shield came along. I recognized that there was a need to protect our identities because, as we know now, that it's quite a problem. As a matter of fact, the uh, consumer report or consumer says that there every 40, I mean, every minute, 40 people's um, identity is stolen. So we have a wonderful solution for that. And I've got been doing it since the mid 1990s while I did my regular job because I just wanted to let people know what was available and possible to help them be able to protect their rights, whether they were dealing with an employment issue or a contractor issue or whatever it was, or they just, had problems. I wanted them to know that they could have some legal services without worrying about what is this going to cost me? And they could pick up the phone rather than worrying about, just having the continuous worry.
Oh, interesting. I mean, nowadays you almost need something in your back pocket because, all of us just the first thing we do is we start worrying.
Yes.
So,
And we don't usually have a place to turn to.
right, yeah. And especially older people, when things happen to them, they don't know where to go.
Mhm.
Um, could you, I was reading here, and please explain what is PPLSI?
Okay. PPLSI stands for Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated. Um, we've been in business since 1972. We're in all 50 states, all Canadian provinces and territories. And our services initially began as a prepaid legal service. We added on the identity theft piece in the early 2000. And we're an industry leader for both legal plan services and identity theft plan. Our mission is to provide access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves and expects. And the thing about us is that we're rapidly expanding. Because of our innovation, we've become a disrupting factor for the traditional legal system that is typically expensive, complicated, and very time consuming. Like we had the taxis where we used to go get a taxi and we didn't know how much it was going to cost. And usually it was a lot of money. Well, Uber came in with the technology to be able to let people use their cars to get people from here to there. And the price was up until here recently about a quarter of what you would normally pay for a taxi. Also, you had the malls, and if you wanted something, you had to go out to the store and get it. Well, along comes Amazon with technology that now we can go online and just about get anything that we want, and it's typically cheaper. And then, of course, we had Blockbuster. Some of the younger people that may watch this later on, they may not know who they were, but trust me, the older ones of us, we do know. And so you would go and rent a video for maybe $5 or $8, $9 and maybe take it home. It was scratched or it wasn't there. Well, along comes Netflix, and now you can watch all the movies you want for about the price it costs you to rent two of those videos. So through technology, our provider law firm network has now given the average American, or whether you have a lot of money or a little bit of money, access to legal services that is simple, easy, and affordable so that you can have access to justice, to your rights, and have legal literacy. I mean, we live in a very litigious society. Just about anything you do has some legal tendencies to it.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So out there's a lot of different plans for identity. So how does ID Shield different from other identity theft plans?
That's a great question. Well, for one thing, we monitor more of your personal digital information, including your medical insurance, your financial, which might be your 401ks and your IRAs, and so that they're not stolen. Your passport, even. In addition to what the rest of the companies are monitoring. Credit, it's more than credit. Uh, the well, anyway, the Consumer Reporting Agency says that only 17% of identity theft has anything to do with credit or anything financial. The rest, the other 83%, deals with your driver's license, your children's identification, your social security number, and many other things. So there's a gap. If you're a lot of people, they'll have identity theft through their bank. Well, that's really only covering their finances in that bank. So, but we cover a lot more than that. In addition to that, a lot of things people are already paying for. We include this as a part of our package, which includes an antivirus software, a VPN, a virtual private network, so you can be anywhere and use your phone or your tablet or your computer without worrying about somebody hacking it, and also a password software manager. All of that is included. If you buy those as standalone products, you're probably looking at spending at least maybe $20, $25. That's included in our plan already. And then when we combine our legal plan with our identity theft plan, we give our members access to credit counselors. A lot of people are paying anywhere from $50 to $100 a month for some type of credit repair. And that's included if you get your Legal Shield and your ID Shield membership. We help you to get your credit rating up. And then above all things, one of the things that we do that nobody else is doing, especially at our price point, is if someone gets your identity, that is going to be very disturbing. You sign a limited power of attorney and you have a licensed private investigator that is trained that will go and find out everywhere you've been breached, and we make a guarantee to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore you back to where you were before. I don't know about you, but for me, I already don't have enough time to do the things that I need to get done. So God forbid if someone were to get my identity, I certainly do not want to be trying to call all the communities in my area. I wouldn't even know where to look, but I don't have to worry about that because all I have to do is call my Legal Shield, my ID Shield rep and have them assign a licensed private investigator to search that over 120,000 databases across the world to find out everywhere I've been breached and to put me back to where I was. And we make a guarantee to do that. And so that's how we stand out from differently from many others. Not to say anything about also that Forbes and U.S. News and World Report has for multiple years recognized us as best identity theft plan.
Well, you said a lot. That is fascinating. So now that you've explained ID Shield, how does Legal Shield work?
Well, with Legal Shield, first of all, having a legal plan is different than having your own attorney. Let's look at that. First of all, you have access without worrying about, well, what is this going to cost me? And having to check your wallet before you can find out what your rights and responsibilities are. There's such a peace of mind to know that I've had different situations come up in my life where, I had a contractor who, after they did the work, they overcharged me. And initially I was very upset. So what I ended up doing was just contacting my attorney and saying, this is what happened. My attorney wrote a 1.5-page letter to that contractor explaining what my rights were. And then when they didn't respond, the attorney called me back. He said, "Miss Blake, I want to know, how did that turn out?" And I said, "Well, he's never given me a corrected bill." So he said, "Don't worry about it." Evidently, he called them because 4 days later, I got a corrected bill with over $280 taken off of that invoice. Now, had I not had this service, I really was not going to call an attorney that might cost me $200-300 an hour to get that corrected, and I would have had to pay it because I wasn't going to have them put a lien against my house or put something against my credit. So that's the number one thing, is that I don't have to worry about my rights or being protected. I can pick up the phone, talk to an attorney, and get that settled. Also, how we differ from other legal services is that our attorneys are required to call you back within 4 business hours. Many times when people have issues coming up, they may get an attorney to call them back the next day, the next 2 or 3 days. Our attorneys have to call them back within 4 business hours. When you have a legal situation going on, you want answers now. And then I don't have to search for an attorney. I have a law firm versus an attorney. We all know that attorneys specialize just like doctors do. I do not go to my podiatrist to check my eyes. And so I don't want a family law person helping with me with business, or, there's over 29 different areas of law. So I have access to whatever type of an attorney that I need. And then our attorneys are held to service standards, whereas if you go out and get an attorney on your own, you may or may not get the service that you were looking for, and then you don't have any opportunity to get resolution typically. I mean, you can call the bar association, but with us, our attorneys are held to standards. And then again, like I said, we have access to a law firm versus a lawyer. And then the other thing is, no matter where I have an issue in the United States, I have legal service.
Wow.
If you have a regular attorney and they step outside of Ohio, unless they're licensed in that state, they're no longer able to serve you.
A lot of us older people, we travel a lot, so
So no
that's
matter
good to
where
know.
you are, you have legal coverage.
That's nice. That's nice. Um, well, I never. It's interesting when you have Legal Shield and the difference in your own attorney, basically. So, what type of legal plans are offered?
Well, first of all, we have our basic, well, it's our only family and an individual legal plan. And then with that comes that you can add on some supplements, such as a gun owner's supplement, a ride share, or additional trial defense. We also have small business plans, and we have 4 different small business plans to meet a person's budget. And then with that, you can add on trial defense as a supplement, as well as business consultants to help you with taxes or just any kind of business issues, maybe helping you get your business plan together or how to better structure your company. And then we also have a commercial driver legal plan, which helps the over-the-road drivers, because when they get tickets, their tickets start at around $200, $800, $1,600 when they get a ticket. But our members can contact their transportation attorneys who help them keep those points off their license, because they're only allowed to get so many, and then they lose their license for the first 3 months, then 6 months, and then a whole year. That's how they earn their money. So we help them with that.
Wow. So basically, idea or Legal Shield is affordable for anybody.
I would say so. We'll talk a little about the pricing. For pricing, our plans start out for the family plan. It's just $29 a month. That's
Okay.
for a whole month of service versus paying for 1 hour of service. And then our legal plans are start at as little as $45 and up to $170, and it just depends on what plan they get.
I
So,
see.
there's some people who can't afford $29 per month, but, or who choose not to pay $29 per month. But, it's kind of like with me, in terms of thinking about having a legal plan, would be the same as having car insurance or homeowners insurance. I thought, I remember paying homeowners insurance for years. And I thought one day, this, what a waste of money. Oh, I'm paying all this money and I don't even use it. And then one day I was walking in the neighborhood, looked up, and I saw something was wrong with my roof. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So called some contractors out. And, of course, I'd had storm damage and didn't know it. And when I had to get my roof replaced, and it was like $10,000, was I happy that I had that insurance. And the same thing with legal situations, like I said, that was just one incident with a contractor. I purchased things and they didn't want to honor it right. I had an aunt who was sick. I had to bring down here to Columbus from Detroit. And, I didn't know all the things I needed to do, but I didn't have to worry about any of that. All I had to do was call my attorney and say, hey, can you look at these documents? Can what do I need to do here? What are my rights here? What are her rights? Those are the kinds of things that it's just peace of mind. And I would gladly pay, what is $29, like $5.75 a week. I'd gladly pay that.
Wow. So basically, anybody can get a plan,
Yes.
and it's just those, and that's a great description of, you're thinking about your car insurance or your homeowner's insurance, and you're paying every month or every year, and you go, you know, I don't see anything for it until you experience or you have something happen, and you stand there and you say, thank God I had that, insurance. So uh, I think you've given a pretty good description of what members receive under your Legal
So
Shield plan.
yeah,
Is there?
so what they receive is I think the one of the most valuable things, and I probably would pay the $29.95 a month just for the first thing that we provide our members with, and that is unlimited
Hmm.
um, consultation and advice. I mean, typically the an attorney is what, at least $200 an hour. So for me to spend $29 to be able to pick up the phone and talk to an attorney about anything personal and not have to worry about it, that alone would be worth $29 for me, because so I'd know which way do I go? What are my rights? What are my responsibilities? What are my options? Can I do this or can I do that? So that would be the number one thing, just to have access to legal literacy and know my rights. And the other thing would be we also provide our members with letters and phone calls. So if there's a dispute going on, you have an attorney that will write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf on multiple items. We don't have a limit on that. It is at the attorney's discretion. If they think it will, help you, they will write that letter or make that phone call for you. We sign contracts and documents every day. Well, I shouldn't say every day, but frequently. And those contracts and documents are typically written for the benefit of the other party. So we go ahead and sign it, and then later on we find out there's a glitch in it, something that we didn't know. Well, I don't sign anything now without having my attorney sending it, faxing it over or taking a picture of it and sending it to my attorney to just say, well, what is this? I had to have like I said, I had to have my roof replaced, and I sent the contract into the attorney, and just so I could understand, because $10,000 is a lot of money. And he said, he explained to me what this meant and that meant. And I said, oh, I have a 5-year warranty. He said, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do, because the gentleman told me that at least 4 or 5 times. He said, Miss Blake, go to this section. He said, what you have is a 1-year warranty. And he said, so if anything goes wrong with your roof, you have to sue the people that made the shingles. I was not trying to hear that. So he gave me some language to give them a counter offer. And, of course, I did that. And the gentleman, he was very apologetic. He said, Miss Blake, I tell everyone that we would honor that. He said, we downloaded this off of the internet. We've been using it for years and nobody's ever questioned us. I said, I'm going with you because I think you're a very honest person. I said, but if you leave this company, the only thing I have to stand on is this piece of paper. And I need to make sure that, I'm okay. So they do that. They also give you a will, living will, healthcare, and financial power of attorney. Typically, just to get a standard will, I mean, unless you're going to Office Max or something like that, you're looking at least maybe, $500 to $1,500. This is included in your $29.95 per month. And then if you get any kind of moving violations, any kind of speeding tickets, stop signs, or anything like that, as long as there's no drugs or alcohol involved and you're properly licensed, you have an attorney represent you anywhere in the country. You don't even have to go back. And they will represent you in court to try to keep those points off your license. Because if you get the points on your license, what happens is now your insurance can go up by 25, 50% for the next 3 to 5 years. So that $150 ticket now all of a sudden is going to cost you an additional $900 to $1,800. And trust me, we have lots of members that use that traffic benefit. And then we also will the one thing that I think is just very important is we have 24/7 emergency access to an attorney. So, if you're ever been stopped and you're questioned, detained, or they want to arrest you, you can tap the app on your phone and have an attorney on the phone with you talking to the police officers or whoever is detaining you. And that goes for you as well as your family. So, and then we have, someone sues you civilly, you have 60 hours of trial time where you have an attorney defending you. That's included in your $29.95 per month, as well as if you get audited by the IRS, you have a tax attorney supporting you. And they know the law better than those tax auditors do. So, and they know your rights as well. So, yes, we do a lot for that.
Wow. It will does it cost to, or how does it work when you want to add a family member?
That's a good question. All your who's covered under your $29.95 is yourself, your spouse or significant other, and all your children under the age of 26 if they have never been married, they're living at home, or they're in college. And then any disabled children that are living at home, they're covered for life. And I've had at least a couple of my members who had children that were out of state and had problems, and they have access to their law firm in wherever state they're in. So we give full coverage for the family as well.
So, any ourselves or anyone that's listening to the recording um, may qualify or be under this small business. So, what kind of services are offered under the small business plans?
Oh, this is a best kept secret. um, First of all, for business owners, they get unlimited legal consultation and advice. So, lots of things come up. They don't know, do I do this? Do I do that? All they have to do is tap an app and they can talk to an attorney that specializes in the area of law that they need. And they don't have to worry about that. If I can only call them twice. No, you can call them 100 times if you want to. So unlimited consultation is the number one thing. They also get letters and phone calls made on behalf of their company. They will have contracts and documents. Usually, business owners are usually signing some kind of contract or document, whether it's for hiring an employee or dealing with suppliers or, they're always signing a contract for something. And then if a lot of times they don't get payments. So our attorneys will write collection letters for them. And if they get audited by the IRS, again, they have access to tax attorneys to help them with that. If they want to do trademarks or copyrights or employee handbooks, it depends on whatever the plans are designed to meet the needs and budgets of the different businesses. And so, like I said, we have 4 different business plans. So you can have access to all of these things. How much of it you get just depends on which plan you get.
Wow. So you've explained that it's easy access to your benefits. I mean, there's an app on your phone to basically have a lawyer in your pocket.
Mhm.
And um, so a good question would someone would say, if a person came to you and said, how can they be so low in cost when an average hourly rate is, anywhere from 250 to $500 an hour? How can they offer such a great service like that?
Well, the way that we do it is that it's not my $29.95 and your $29.95 per month, but it's we have millions of people that have this service. And so what the company does is they take a third of everybody's premium, and they use that money to pay these law firms on a per capita basis. So they're already paid. By the time we call them, they're just sitting there to serve us, not sitting there to try to bill us. So that's how we do it, is through group shared economy that we're able to get those prices down so low.
Well, and that's interesting because even there's uh, insurance out there, health insurance, that is somewhat the same way. But so
Yeah,
to,
we are to the legal profession what major medical is to doctors and hospitals.
yeah.
Mhm.
So if what happens if the you need a legal service and it's not covered under your plan?
Good question. Well, first of all, at least 80%, if not more, of the services that our members have in their plan, they never have to pay anything additional. When they do, it might be for situations that might be like they're filing bankruptcy, or it's criminal, or they're having a contested divorce, or maybe they want to initiate a lawsuit. Then the members receive a 25% discount off of the attorney's hourly rate. So they get a preferred members 25% discount. So our members never pay full price for an attorney. And one of the things I mentioned was the uncontested divorce. One of the benefits I didn't mention in the regular membership uh, would be our members, after they've had the plan for 90 days, they can have a uncontested divorce, adoption, or name change or separation. That's included at no additional cost. Of course, you're going to pay court fees and whatnot, but their attorney fees are paid for.
So you mentioned 90 days. Now, is that pretty much
That's
uh,
the only area, the uncontested divorce and name change and adoption. Those are the only ones where there's a 90-day waiting period. Everything else is, you buy it uh, by 1 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, you're covered.
okay? Good to know. Um, so this has been very interesting today, Estella. I can't tell you the mind change for Legal Shield. Um, is there any questions by Sally or Kathy? Do either one of you have
No,
anything?
no, it's just amazing what this service offers. I did have kind of an idea because I've known Estella for a while, but I didn't know how far in depth it went.
My question is I already have the personal plan, and I've had it for some time. And what are the price points of the business plan, and how easy is it for me if I wanted to upgrade from the personal to the business?
Um, the price points are, I don't know if you have the legal plan supplement. So that's $44.90. That would include both your personal plan and your business. It's a home business, we call it. And then to have just We have 3 tiers of business plans. One is $49, one is $99, and one is $169. And you can add on to that for $14.95 trial defense, which many times I make sure that when I have small businesses, if they can get the $99, I'm like, I don't even sell it without the $14.95 trial defense. You get 100 hours of an attorney representing you in court. We've had business owners where, you know, the customer might want to sue them, and our attorneys will tell them, okay, they'll talk to their attorney and say, I just want you to know that Mr. Smith has 100 hours already paid for. Are you ready to go the distance? What do you think that does?
Yeah, because they're sitting there thinking cha-ching, cha-ching, that's what it's going to cost them. And they go, I don't really want to
Yeah,
do
that would be for our 99 and our $169 plan, which, is, if again, it's to meet the needs of the business. We're here to make sure that they at least have some legal coverage, some legal access without worrying about anything. You have documents sitting on your desk and sometimes you're like, oh, I got to read that. You don't have to read it. Send it to your attorney, let them read it and tell you what's in it.
Wow. So for a mere, what? I don't know. Your initial cost is $29.99. And if you go to the
That's for your
44,
personal. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just pennies.
It's pennies. And we also offer this as an employee benefit, and that price goes down significantly on that.
Wow.
Significantly. Mm-hmm.
Kathy, did that help? Great. I'm glad to hear that.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, that helped.
Well, I personally don't have any questions other than the fact that I've done this listening, asking questions and with Estella to understand Legal Shield. This has been a great discussion. I can't thank you enough for joining us today. Mm-hmm. And for those that are going to be listening to the recording, we appreciate you. If you need any further information, Estella, how would anyone get in touch with you?
They would, first of all, I want to clarify one thing about the cost on the membership. Mm-hmm. We don't put people in a contract. So it's a subscription model. So you're not locked into a year or 2 months or whatever. It's month-to-month contract. It's a subscription. Okay. People can contact me by, I'll give you my phone number, which is 614-382-2890. And then my website is Blake, that's EBLAKE Blake dot wearelegalshield.com.
Okay. You want to repeat that
again? I don't know if you can, I don't know. I don't have a way to, give you a screenshot of that, but anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. But Estella, would you repeat
sure.
your email again?
Sure. It's Blake at blessed. That's BLES, as S as in Sam, T as in Tom, BIZ as in zebra.com.
Okay. I want to thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, Estella. I look forward to seeing what kind of response you get to the follow-ups in the replays. Blank.
Thank you. Just share it with other people, because people just really need to know that something like this is possible and available. They're dealing with all kinds of life situations, whether it's landlord, tenant, or just anything. An insurance company doesn't want to treat them right. They don't have to be the underdog.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So for today, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Please enjoy the recording and join us at Fireside Chat with Debbie Marks. And next month, we will have another guest, and I look forward to joining you then. Thanks, Sally, and thank you, Kathy, for joining us.
Thank
Bye
you,
for now.
Estella.
Thank you, ladies.